That was distasteful. Now I can't, stress enough about this, my hero, season, 8 final season. I love MHA, and it is, out there where it comes to animation. A1 Pixels in critique, because this episode had excessive of the man that taught me so much fundamentals of not only my hero, but anime in general, even to a regular, shoujo anime, slice of life anime. Bakugou is far superior to a lot of characters out there, because you know why? Because he is so, into himself. It's not even funny, but he is so strong. He has so the right to be into himself. It's not even funny, because the whole deal is this, okay? Bach. Let's get real, Lily. We all thought that Bach was gonna turn gay this episode. So I knew, Bach, Bakugou for a long time, because what happened is I have a personal relationship with this character, because when it came to, Naruto, the original days of Shippuden, I didn't do all good, into society. I had struggled, getting work, struggle, fitting in, and what this character was different. He was the character that was there when I was in the come up, but Shippuden didn't have a big statement. But what makes reality intertwined with anime so much is the fact that I got way more street cred when Bakugou was on the air. Not only he was a new version of Vegeta, was the fact that, my hero gave me another chance due to being athletic. I've said it, several times on this channel. This anime is like the USA, and it drives us toward, and like a lot of anime gets a lot of people involved. Now, knowing this, critically, this episode was heavy on him when it came to cinematic effects, literally, or green screen, literally, he was very powerful. So we did know in the current episode, they shared all for one, or one for all, one for all, the extra quirk. And what happened was he really turned into something devastating, colorful. It was just like Kogiyasu Loose the Rebellion, R2, when a big special happens, that's how great this episode was. Now, I've been keeping up, this anime for years, and I can't believe that this is the last season of anime. But one thing that I know about it, critically, is that it's fan base, unlike Naruto, there is some, definite, fan bases. Like, there's some deaf fans of My Hero Academia, because the truth, what I know about, manga share as a whole, is that, is that when it comes to, My Hero specifically, because it has less attributes to DBZ and less attributes to Naruto, but still, not current going, back in my days, anime was used to go hand in hand, with my maturity, being 16, trying to get schoolwork done, literally taking the school seriously, them talking about war, and talking about how life is getting deeper as a whole. When it came to that, but now, they specifically don't air, anime just, for children nowadays, and that's, the rule. And, what's crazy about that is that there's this new recent, show that's really old, but it's specifically recently on Primo TV called Bakugan. Okay, literally, I just saw this XD. Now, there's another version of Bakugan where a black person in it, and multiple black people in it, and no matter, how much, they try to, convince you, it's not good, it's not better than the old one. You know why? Because, the old one not only is bolder, and this is such shitty times with such shitty shows literally on air like Big City Greens, and everything. What came to this, episode specifically, or where it comes, to this critique, for this review, I'm talking about this is the first time in my life that I saw, two Bakugans literally both on cable. For a very long time, it's very, tough. It's one of the toughest things ever. And I honestly think that, it's been a greatest, year, knowing that Toonami is now being posted on the web. You have to pay for Toonami nowadays, literally definitely keeping up with the current times. But recognizing that, when you do this shit, you fail to realize, a lot of shit. So let's get to action. Literally, it starts off, with the fake All Might, fake All For One, retarded All Might, all the way, to the point where Bakugo actually, gets good screen times and gets cocky, and gets help from Deku. I didn't think they were going to be holding hands this episode, pun intended, but, when they start, crossing off, really, I think that this is literally one of Bach's, biggest performance yet. Literally, his voice acting clip for really is really good, but of course, I watched the Japanese version, so, literally, I don't want a fifth, My Hero movie to come out. Anyway, the whole point of, and Bakugou literally is that he had this one moment in the middle that he shined, just like Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. Literally, he shined literally like any other anime character, just like Space Dandy, my nigga. Literally, Bakugou shined, okay. And so there was a big, issue, where it came to people that don't think that I have anime lore on my channel. What lore is different. Lore means I want to connect anime to a grass man, knowing that it has martial arts, knowing that, there are motivational techniques like, Zen, in Goku, trail techniques in real life. You can't go Super Saiyan, but, it's basically the shit. So, literally, and just like Tai Chi, chakra and all that, literally, when I tell a nigga that common chakra like that, literally, and guess who's also, Yuji and Baka and Test. I've watched a lot of fucking anime because, with Baka and Test is a Yuji. There's an Itadori Yuji Jujutsu Kaisen, literally, and there's a Yuji, literally, the red-haired guy, literally, and Baka. So anyway, this is truth. This is truth, literally, because Bakugou, literally, I thought he was going to turn gay this episode. He had every reason to be cocky after dying last season. He basically died last season. He died way worse than Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. And what you're forgetting to realize, about, Bakugou as etc., is that he could not, contain himself where it came to looking good this episode. Literally, he looked outstanding. He looked handsome. Literally, he looked like that he was out there. And when he really activated, the one for all quirk, it was Blitz for the other guy. Literally, Blitz for all fun. Literally, you fuck. And it's really, really true. Literally, like Bakugou can, bomb Kim Jong Un in Korea, and I can't stand it. Because the truth behind this episode, literally, is that, even though, Bakugou gave me a chance, my hero gave me a chance, literally, as an anime fan, to be athletic, I love Blue Lock, also a really good anime, Rio and Chigiri, very, very the shit right there, that's it's a 400 anime, if you think about it, and the reason why, Bakugou was so nasty, literally, wasn't just because, he schooled Uraraka in the tournament, or he bossed that around literally the first episodes. This is why my hero is still impactful. Literally, it's the last season. A lot of people talk about the manga. I feel like it's gay because literally when it comes to twice, people in the manga, if I want to watch some Deadpool. But when it came to Bakugou, where it came to critique this episode, literally he flew, literally he killed everything, literally like DBZ. He looked just like Goku, and he had a last shot in this episode. Where previously we thought he was gonna be really gay because I already counted, my hero was over in my head. Literally, now he has another chance. And one of the greatest, if you've been a fan of my channel, literally, one of the greatest, lessons I learned in life, and the reason why I use Hella Weak, the technique, is because, when you lose, it's impactful, some people lose their best strategies, but when, you let Bakugou go, I thought you were going to stop in your head, and when you did, I'm like, it's a form of irrelevance, to not, read manga like anime, nowadays, but, let's just be real, he got hold of All Might's quirk, and literally, and he flew, literally, and nothing, too deep happened, his body was indestructible, literally, and, there's still something left, so he went in like Gundam, and he exploded, but, he did finish the dude, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next episode, but, like I said, literally, I fell for that trap before, even though, I, was doing good, when My Hero came out, because, literally, it was the next thing, and, it was having shit being, I say this a lot of time in videos, literally, there's gonna be anime merchandise, not topic, there was Hunter x Hunter, and there was My Hero, literally, and I was cosplaying as a character, so I cosplayed as Todoroki myself, literally, and guess what ended up happening, literally, I ended up getting that popular thing, one time, when I knew I was gonna get, literally, I asked a random girl, went to Washington, literally, who her favorite character was after wearing a My Hero shirt, and she said Bakugou, I was like, oh, then it fell, literally, even though, my actual favorite character at the time was Todoroki, based off my original favorite character, Naruto being Neji, literally, and so, literally, when it came to the battle with Kulalu, she already said bucket of water, so you know how that goes. But, literally, My Hero was still there, literally, when I had, all, 10 years that was, complete, with, whenever, it came out, But this is my not only review, but my love for Bakugou is serious. So I'll be check out the last season of My Hero. This is the third episode. This is MT. I'm out.